Do you feel as though it is important for a graduate to have both print and interactive design experience?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think what happens, and it happens a lot, is from my perspective. Now, you got to understand that I'm in an advertising agency. I'm a creative director in an agency, so we need people that can do a lot of everything. But we do look for specific disciplines, and right now, we're looking for a production artist. We're looking for somebody who really understands the computer and understands print in that graphic sense. They also have to have a little bit of understanding of Flash and HTML. Not a lot. That's not the key thing that we're looking for. We're looking for somebody right now to do the print aspect. But we also need somebody that understands HTML, Flash, Dreamweaver, and a lot of other software programs for the interactive work that we do. So I think that the more that you get to know in school from an interactive sense, and the more that you get to know from a print sense, the better. Eventually you're going to make the choice of what you want to do if you want to get involved real heavily in interactive. But I think the way of the future is you have to understand it. Even if you don't know how to do it, you have to understand it pretty well, because everything is linking. Print campaigns are becoming interactive campaigns, and interactive campaigns are having print components, and it's all linking. So it's good to know all of it. I think eventually you make your decision where you want to lean more heavily. If you want to lean more heavily interactive, it's good to get that discipline and understand it really thoroughly, and have a lesser understanding maybe of the print. But if you want to do print and art direction and get into an advertising agency and go that route, you better have a real good understanding of the print discipline and the interactive, but maybe not as, you don't have to know as much of that, you just have to know how it works. It's good to know both.
Today I think it's essential, absolutely, because so many of the, integrated type campaigns, you're starting out maybe with something that's print or collateral based, also have elements that are electronic media, whether it be, web-based stuff, email, campaigns, but as far as an integrated campaign, to be able to, cross that boundary from print and thinking, in 2 dimensions to, more dimensions, multi-dimensional whenever you go online, so, with motion and things like that. So absolutely, I think it's essential.
I think so. Maybe not so much experience as exposure. They need to know what's going on in the world, because that changes the environment that we're working in constantly. I mean, with all of the technology, advancements in technology, things change. And 5 years ago you were marketing in direct mail and brochures, and now you've got MP3s and downloads, and it's stuff on your cell phone. I mean, it's a completely different ball game. So you need to know what's out there, and also sometimes your design has to cross over. It might not just be used for print, but it could be used for a whole campaign that includes, email blasts or websites or, in MP3s.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's one of the most important things. You should know both. And whether you use, like she said, whether you use them or not, I think you should still know both. Like she said, there's a lot of stuff that cross over. Sometimes we do ads, for example, and it gets transformed into an email campaign, and it gets transformed into a website. And it's always good to know, and even a lot of places now, they ask for you to know, at least, even if it's a print design job, they sometimes they even ask you to know a little bit of the web, the interactive part. So I think it's very, very important. Today pretty much everything is going digital, so a lot of stuff is going.
I think it's really important. Yeah, I think that people should definitely have both different skill sets, because you may not really like doing multimedia, but I think it's really important that you understand how it works, because you're going to come into the issue of, you might have to be the person to design something for somebody. And if you're not sitting there really, with a grasp and understanding of what that person's going to have to go through, then you might be doing something completely wrong, and they're going to have to like go over the work and do it themselves again. I think interactive people should also know what print people have to go through in order to get their job done. I think people should definitely get a little bit of information. It's because both work so much off of each other. Nowadays, you don't have a print campaign and not have an interactive campaign to back it up. It's just, that's how it goes. And also, I think it makes yourself more marketable to people out in the industry. If you just go out and say, oh, I'm a designer, and all you've got is all this great print work, oh, do you know anything about interactive? It kind of hurts you when you don't have that simple knowledge of just saying, okay, yeah, I know how to do this, and take it to the next level. Also, another key factor with that, I think, is that people aren't going to be able to prepare their own portfolio and get it out to people in the industry when all you know is print design, and you need to do some interactive to show off your work, because the internet and interactivity is so important that people get that first impression of you. And otherwise, you're going to be a starving artist trying to pay somebody to do something that you would really like. If you would just know a little bit about it, you'd find out that it's really not that hard, and you could do it yourself and really help market yourself more. So
I think ultimately any skills that you have are going to be to your benefit. The way our department works, we have a person that is kind of our specialty person for multimedia or new media stuff, and we have a web team that does specifically the web part. Most of us are print designers, so we're kind of separated by that. But ultimately now, so much more is going to have a web component to it that I think it's beneficial to have both. It may not be necessary to always have both, but I definitely think it's a benefit.
Do you feel as though it is important for a graduate to have both print and interactive design experience?
Definitely. I think that I think it's real important for somebody to have a scope of maybe not even just those mediums, but just other modes of communication. It's really about communicate. I mean, the way that technology goes, and people tend to equate technology with internet or web or electronic mediums, but it's everything. It's environmental graphics. It's sound. More and more you're talking about sound, animation. There's all kinds of, as the technology increases to deliver messages, the broader the range of skills has to be of the person in design. If you focus on one little niche of that, you're lucky to get a job in that niche where you can actually progress and develop your career and stay in that niche. That's pretty rare at the pace of technological change. So it's real important to have that broad understanding of skills. And the best two places to start are internet and, because it's real important. I mean, as I said earlier, it's all about communication, how you package the message. And the way that, when the medium changes, the mode of communication changes as well. So you have to understand how you would restructure the message to work in that medium, whatever that medium is. So it's not just being flexible, but you're also certainly a lot more marketable if you have both those skills. Because rarely, especially if you're going out on your own and doing things, if you're trying to drum up your own business as a freelancer, you're going to run into a lot of clients that start with, I'd like a logo design, or I need you to design my business card or my letterhead. And if you're prepared or competent enough to provide them other services as well as they discover what your competencies are, you're going to get faced with, well, can you help us with our website? Can you, we're thinking about doing some billboards. We're thinking about, so there's a whole range of things that, you need to be prepared to keep clients on a freelance basis.